Yeah. 28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little people the king, little people the king. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. I'm the champion, I'm the champion, I'm the champion, Don't know why you cats wanna wait to be with the street just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early getting finished the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. Still I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. Like you phony rap cat, about to make me squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, A&T is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons and I'm the truth. Why? Cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless the child that been holding on. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out here better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you got. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the half. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the little cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people leaking trade love. If I throw it on the key, you can put that on my heart and I'm the God. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion.
What up? What up? What's up? Welcome to ATL Friends and Family. Welcome. So glad to be in the number just one more time. I'm George today by none other than my sister, Miss Tayama Sweetness.
Hey everybody, I'm going under reconstruction, so you can't see me right now.
She's so crazy.
But it's gonna come with some good news, so it don't even matter.
All right.
But I'm here. I am here.
And from Friday Night Gospel Inspiration, the best DJ on this side and that side of the Mississippi River, none other than D-Lo himself. What up?
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back.
Long hat on cow.
Yeah, you hear me? Yeah. Good to be back on that too. Yes, sir.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? And what he won't do,
and stuff.
And what he won't do, a beauty supply store will. Thank God.
Amen.
Fully married, so don't even think about it.
Don't think about it. Fully married.
We're waiting for Legacy right now. He's having technical difficulties on his end, but he is definitely trying his hardest, his damnedest to get in.
Y'all know that raggedy ass Wi-Fi. Gotta cut up for the new year. Gotta cut up.
Cut up.
In January, it didn't even wait.
Y'all, this the first Friday of the new year.
Yeah.
Friday. We have to be out somewhere shaking a tail feather.
Y'all know y'all gonna have to shake it for me, but that's not here nor there. But yes.
Well, I can't shake it. I'm at that age now where I can't shake it like I feel like it's hot no more. It's more like it's lukewarm.
No, you gotta let it down like it's lukewarm.
Yeah, there you go.
Let it down.
Lord,
you can't
my
drop
prayers
it.
ain't working. My prayers ain't working.
You can't drop it. You gotta let it down.
Real easy.
Real easy, slowly. You gotta slow. Look, I past my 40s now. I can't.
Like
I gotta let it down slowly.
Tina said nice and easy, so yeah, I gotta put it down nice and easy.
Nice.
But yeah, I ain't old. I'm still having babies and shit, so I'm young. This young blood over here. Yeah.
Girl,
You a whole hater over there.
I am a whole hater. Very spicy.
Oh, so it's your raggedy ass phone. People that could get their hair cut at 10 o'clock shouldn't be having no issues.
Like I said, not as a Wi-Fi. They are blocking me for what I said on the show Tuesday about the Jewish community. All right, Kanye.
I can believe that because you can say anything about the Jewish folk, they gonna come after you. They gonna shut you down.
Vegas said, try to get in, boy. We need you. Use somebody else's phone.
Tony, why'd you try to get this man in when you know I'm gonna be the first one he come cuss at? The first.
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking, Miss Echoes.
Hey, boo.
Hey, how you doing?
So how everybody's day been so far? Or everybody's week since it's Friday now. How's everybody's week so far?
I've had a wonderful first week in January. I honestly have. Getting ready to go to Houston next weekend. You know, me and the boo getting ready to go for a little 2 day little trip, little turnaround trip. Just go straight up, come right back down. It ain't, ain't nothing special.
A quick vacation.
Quick little staycation. Yeah, you call it a staycation because it's only 5 hours away from where we live. So to us, it's a stay.
I called it a vacation. Like you and
yeah, a quick little vacation. 2 days. We leaving here early Saturday morning, coming back early Monday morning. So
okay. Do a little quick. My week
turn
been
around.
good. Work. Added on another kid. Y'all, I'm a mother of 5 kids. How the fuck?
Of another kid. Did I miss something?
Yeah, I got my niece Layla now.
Girl, you running an orphanage.
Yeah, me. They need to go and get you ready for sainthood.
But listen, I don't mind. I need these babysitters on deck to help with these diapers and we gonna take the church blessings.
Okay, man.
Nah, but I'm excited. Exactly.
Where is Tyson?
Downstairs. You want me to come bring him over?
I ain't seen Tyson in a while, in a minute.
I know. That tells you about your friend that's next to you.
Oh my.
About to make me come on screen looking real raggedy.
Come on.
Let me see how you looking. What you consider raggedy?
What do you consider raggedy? Yes.
I would never tell. I would never tell.
She said she'll never tell. Never ever tell.
You're not supposed to tell your Victoria my secrets.
Okay. Tonight's topic is called Prison Secrets Exposed.
That sounds like church.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
That's Diane trying to watch TV and be on the show. You only do one.
Okay, I apologize. I played it by mistake. Excuse me.
But this is called Prison Secrets Exposed by a Retired Warden. I saw on the news. I can't remember if I saw it on Facebook or YouTube or where, but there was a prison warden that was revealing things that I guess were secret to us, the people who don't go to prison or don't go to jail. And it was a last minute quick topic that we can talk about. And I wanted legacy on it because of the fact that it's no secret, and he can tell you himself that he has done time in prison. And so because of that, I want him to be more insightful to share his information or his pros and cons or contribute to each topic. So it was like 50 things that the ward was exposing, but I didn't want the show to be that long. So I think I picked out maybe 20, if that. No particular order. But I was going to show them and read them, and then we was going to basically just talk about them. I was going to tell you what the warden said, but then we'll just talk about them. And just kind of go from there and then be insightful, and everybody put their little 2 cents in as well.
Okay.
That we either know or did know.
That's true.
hitmen in prison is real. And then what the warden was saying was that there are some inmates or people that are in prison that have, let's say, life sentences. So of course, with the life sentence, they ain't going nowhere. So they have nothing to lose nor gain. So those people are normally people that the other inmates will pay to be the hitman to kill or beat up somebody else that's in prison. Let's say they wanted to fight or kill whatever inmate. Well, that person will be the hitman.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, the individual has nothing to gain or lose by doing whatever he's doing.
Legacy say he's here.
I'm stating what was told, and we're elaborating on it and sharing comments, views, discussing it, whatever.
Right.
I'm not gonna save up and get Legacy a laptop or a tablet.
You know what? Y'all gonna leave my brother alone.
No, we need him on the show.
Because I ain't never been to prison, so I can't help you.
Right, me neither. So I can't discuss.
I can. And part of that is true.
I'm reading. Prison can be described as one big revolving door. And what the warden was saying about that is some inmates tend to, when they're released, let's say go to prison for the first time and then they go on release. Hell no, I ain't coming back. You ain't never see me in here again.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks, they're back.
Y'all gonna hate me. I had a cousin that used to go back and forth, but he claimed he like women. I say, nah, it's something in there you trying to get back to. I said, ain't no way you could get to. So it's some dudes, and you must like dudes, because boy, you love being with them 24/7. That bitch was ready to fight me.
Nope, now the truth was out.
Hey, look, he wanted to fight me for the truth. You kept going back like it was a theme park. Nah, boy.
Hold on.
Somebody go help Legacy.
But Legacy says what the warden is saying has some validity, so it's kind of valid, but not always true because of most people who are going inside of a prison system, not as much as jail, but a prison system, understand that this is a different world anyway. So you don't have to have a life sentence to become a hitman. Okay.
Right.
He says, I heard the food was good in prison. That's not what I heard.
I never know.
It says gangs can be formed based on religion alone. Now, see, that one I didn't really understand. So I'm like, so what is it? Like, yeah, the Muslims over there, the Protestants over there, the Catholics over there, the Islam's over here. I mean, I don't understand. So, Legacy, you might have to elaborate on that. It says gangs can
You
be
just
formed.
said it.
But that. Well, but see, to me, religion is supposed to be a peaceful thing. So why would it be a gang?
You'll be surprised.
Because of protection. Because a lot of times you have to hang with your own faith, and in order to hang with your own faith, you have to become violent and you have to become a gang because it's other people that's in there that's looking to actually stab you, kill you, do everything. And so for protection wise, you have to become a gang. Hmm.
But you ain't never watched that show Oz?
No.
Mm. When it's over, go watch a few Ned bits.
Hmm.
But I ain't never been in prison, so I can't help you.
Is correct, Dynamo, correct statement.
Hmm. Yep.
Correct
Because
your
you
ass
have
on
to.
this podcast.
No, no. What he was saying, what I'm saying is right. What I'm saying is right.
Boy, I got that. That's why I told him to correct his ass on this podcast.
It says prisoners have access to free condoms. Now, what the warden was saying is, although they don't and, allow or enforce or encourage same sex in the prison system, the inmates have the right to protect themselves from diseases. So they have access to condoms, and that I never knew.
Hmm.
So basically, you giving them permission.
Right? That's what it sounds like to me.
If I catch you, you get in trouble, but I'm gonna give you condoms. That's like master giving you a book, but gonna beat your ass if you learn to read it.
Okay. Most of
That
the
don't
time,
make no sense.
when people enter into a prison, they give off telltale signs of if they're going to be considered a victim. People don't come in and just automatically become a killer most of the time.
Let me tell you, it's either kill or be killed.
Hmm.
Especially when you come in young. When you come in
Hmm.
young, it's like my
Fresh
brother
meat.
went in at 19 and this fool joined the whole gang. I'm like, bitch, you was born into a gang. You don't understand. I sure enough don't. And he was like,
Tell me,
honey,
Legacy says, tell me, you seem like you don't understand. Tonight, Mama, I just explained that these folks have me blocked to where I cannot get on. They
okay,
made
so grab a phone of somebody else. Grab another phone of
yeah,
somebody else.
your phone blocked.
Exactly.
And if you was on one phone last week and they blocked you for what you said, they don't know about your other phone.
Right.
They made the condoms out of
You
plastic
black. Be creative.
bags or rubber
Or are you busy?
gloves. Well, see, I heard of the inmates making the condoms out of the plastic bags and the rubber hand gloves, but
Yes.
this warden is saying that they give out free condoms.
But you
You
know
know,
what? You also got to see what prison system it is, because nowhere in Florida are they doing that.
yeah, I never heard of that.
They ain't doing that in Florida. You coming out with every STD you went in there trying to get.
Kia says more rape in prison than in jail. And then she asked, "Is what Lex is in jail?"
Hell nah, he would have been bailed out.
No, if it was, he
Honey.
only there for an hour.
What? He would have been bailed out. I'm on
No,
my way.
he's having difficulty getting online on the system through his phone.
You could drive over here, Legacy.
And
But I
let me
swear I
know,
think Tony closer.
let me get on through your tablet. Well, I ain't no phone over there phone to get on.
He can sit right there next to you.
Yeah, will be two faces on the screen.
That's fine.
Oh,
As long as you get on.
Then they said
But
we're about to
remember,
be.
he's short, so don't be trying to block him now.
You know what? Y'all are hilarious.
They said they give you phones in prison.
Oh no, they don't give you phones. They sneak them in. They give
Mm-hmm.
you a tablet in prison. Like my brother and my nephew got a tablet to where you put stamps and they can literally text you something without you having to wait 50 years, and they can send you pictures. You get 4 pictures for one stamp.
Tobacco
So
is the main form of currency in prison. So I guess since so many people smoke, so they use the tobacco as a means of money.
Yep. Use cartons. You trade cartons for different stuff. Mm-hmm.
now let me go pull up at me a jail.
You can trade for a spread. Like I used to, I traded for a spread because I had to make a spread.
What's a spread? You spread to cover up.
Okay, what's the spread?
Spread is basically when you put a bunch of nasty shit that don't go together to make something to eat because you don't want to eat the nasty food in the cafeteria. So you get a pack of Roman noodles, you get some chips, you get like some tuna or some shit like that. You put it in there with that. You basically boil it down. You find a way to boil it. You boil it down and you put it all together, compact it like a burrito or something, and then you eat it out. It's like this one solid block, and you make a spread. You can make a spread out of anything.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. You got me ready to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah, you man. I told y'all I did a year and a half. Y'all thought I was joking? In Tallahassee. I thought I was joking. I know what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you, the
It
best jail to be in is in Tallahassee.
is.
I had a visit every hour, but except lunchtime, they shut it down for 2 hours. I had a
Mm-hmm.
visitor every day, at least 9 or 10 people every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Every day.
It is. It's actually the best place to be.
That one person can only visit you that one time. But anybody else, they could keep coming. My mom was crying. I'm like, girl, I'm good. This just a slumber party. I can't leave.
See what Legacy said?
The warden is lying. He's showing off for the interview. Do you
Right.
know how many people in prison will be raped and would not have any proof of for DNA because the prisons is giving out condoms?
Right. They don't give out condoms. You gotta sneak that shit. That's a lot.
It didn't sound kosher to me, but I don't know.
Mm. No,
Because
sir.
once in
They
the
do not
girl
give out.
prison, you just gonna get chewed, so it really don't matter. So never
What she
mind.
say? What she say? You gonna get chewed?
Yes.
You gonna get yang 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 yang. Yang.
I'm gonna go sit down. The dyke in me say go take a seat. Yes, ma'am.
Prisoners can taunt wardens over religious views.
I'm not following.
Legacy.
True statement. Tobacco would be the number 2 item to be sold in prison. Stamps and envelopes
Damn
are number
envelope.
one.
Yep. Yep. Everything he's saying is true.
Now tell me about how can I use my religion to taunt a guard or something.
I don't know
I
nothing
can't
about
even
that
I can't even
because
help you on that one.
I was a straight up Christian when I was in
Because
there.
what I'm
So
gonna tell you, read this Bible. I don't know. How does that work?
Yeah, that one didn't make any sense to me. So Legacy, enlighten us.
Oh, he's gonna give you a long one. Get ready to read it. Because it sounds so ridiculous that you know it ain't no easy answer.
right. I think I'm gonna give. When we finish this show, I'm gonna get up and go across the street and get me an enchilada plate.
That is so random.
We needed to know that on the show.
Oh
That's so
shit! I
bad.
meant to mute. I meant to mute my mic. I'm sorry.
Well, if you
I
muted your
apologize.
you muted your mic, who would you be talking to?
Myself.
You know they have
You already.
counseling. They have counseling for that.
No, I didn't answer back. Now the problem would have been if I would have answered back. That's when it becomes a problem when you answer back.
Read that one down, Alan.
The food is cooked and prepped by the prisoners. Most of the
This
time,
is
yes.
true.
Hmm.
And what the warden said there is because yes, the prisoners are cooking the food and being in the working in the kitchen, but the problem there is what if the inmate spit in the food? What if the inmate has cuts or bruises or bleeding? And then all that can be put right into the food. So yeah, so sometimes you're eating tainted food.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
but
then if you
also,
piss off the right inmate, they'll grind up glass to where you
yeah,
will never know it's there and kill your ass throughout the night.
yeah, you through the night. Yes, sir. Yep.
Wow.
But what that take really good supervision in the kitchen from whoever the kitchen supervisor.
Tim, that's not even a true statement either about just getting chewed. Women make strap-ons and dildos out of items that are in prison and rape other women.
Well, we weren't talking about. I wasn't talking about rape. I'm sitting there talking about consensual adults, not the consensual side food, not the I'm trying to fuck you up side.
But
Because
but
even
Tama,
in both,
what you said about wanting to go back. Honestly, a lot of those men actually do have secret boyfriends and girlfriends in prison.
I know they do.
Hmm.
And I had a
Yeah.
cousin that would stay out for less than a month and go right back. But he dead
Hmm.
now. I used to tell us, but it's something in there. Ain't no way you just going back just because. But no, I was talking
Yeah.
about consensual.
Hmm.
Anybody can be sodomized. That's easy. Well, not easy, but you know what I mean.
And you know the prison business is $1 trillion industry.
I can believe it.
So you can actually build if you have the funding, you can actually build a prison and open up a prison and be federally funded, get money from the government to run your facility. And
Yep.
you be a private prison because you're not owned. Your prison wouldn't be owned by the state. You'll be a private prison.
I wouldn't even want to
Mm.
do no junk like that. Like that's crazy.
And make plenty of money because the prison's only making so many cents an hour.
What's the
Yeah.
next thing, Tony?
He said, so me being a Muslim, so I don't eat pork and things while I'm in there. That makes them have to go and buy kosher food. Well, that's where you're taunting them based on the religion. He answered that one. Even while you're incarcerated, you have your right to your religion, and the way that you live with your religion in prison has to conform to what it is you live by that drive wardens crazy. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Read that one down, Alan.
Prison staff and their families are regularly threatened. Hmm.
I regularly threatened. The warden was saying that sometimes certain inmates get into it with certain um I guess the inmates tend to find out like where they live in the city.
Hmm.
And yes.
even while you're incarcerated, you have your right to your religion, and the way you that you live with your religion in prison has to conform to what you live by, and that drives wardens crazy. Yeah, yeah. Cause I came in a Christian already. I came in a Christian. I had just fell by the wayside by selling dope.
Let me
I
tell
came
you, you
in.
know what I tell y'all? Y'all better be lucky I'm not the warden. Y'all will be writing all type of shit up on me. You was so Christian, but you wind up in here. One too Christian. Go get your butt over there and eat what they eat. Like,
Read the next one on that one.
Um, Prisoners are trapped in their cells all day due to staff shortages. Not,
They're,
wow, that's
not necessarily.
illegal.
well, what the warden was saying was based on that statement is, let's say, for example, for every, for every 30 inmates, you need one guard.
Mhm.
So let's say the ratio is, so you got your 3,000 inmates, you got your 100 guards. But then let's say one guard or two guards call off that day and don't come in. So now the ratio is off. So because the ratio is off, you don't have enough guards to watch the number of inmates. They'll keep those inmates in their cell all day.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Hold on. Hey, Adrian.
But
Legacy.
that's what I was saying. Is that even legal?
Right. That's I'm not sure. Legacy says soon as you and friends on them, people write young lady as the warden and won't be the wardens long, and then there will be a you want to
Legacy,
speak.
I need you to go find a
Okay,
way to
this is
get on.
Tayama. I said, as you move the warden, the soon as you get enough complaints, that's why they have all different types of organizations.
They block. You breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
The system understands that absolute power breeds corruption. So
Mhm.
therefore, you have institutions inside of these places and entities that help inmates as well because they're still considered humans. So therefore, when a warden be overzealous and tries to infringe on people's religious rights, then that causes the warden to possibly lose his or her job because you can't make a decision on what an individual can and should eat based off of what you think because of them not obeying the laws of the why they were free. So you can't infringe on those individuals' rights. So a lot of people in prison tend to um, get catered to in prison due to the fact that if you're a Wicca is a form of witchcraft, a person that practices witchcraft. They eat and live a certain type of way inside of prison. They go to church a certain type of way in prison that's completely different from everybody else. And the prison system has to allow them their way of practicing their religion. So no, you cannot infringe on other people's religion and how they actually eat and serve while they're
That
in.
was a joke.
Now let me ask you this, Legacy.
I know it was.
Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What if it's a private prison?
I was in a private prison, and in order to have a private prison, you still have to abide by the state's law when it comes to being a private prison. You just all a private prison is a facility that was created by a corporate company that is not part of the state but made room and built a facility for extra bunks for inmates when the regular prison system is over full. That's where those private prisons come into play.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I want to say in 2000 The private institution that I was in at that time, and they actually took the United States of America to court, and filed a civil suit against the United States government because the contract that the government signed with them stated that they will have every bed filled inside of these private facilities. And each one of those private facilities in CCA hold about 2,200 inmates. At this time, they said that they were short over 15. They have like 300 facilities throughout the United States of America, and they said that they were like short 1,000, 1,200 inmates throughout these facilities, and they took the United States to court. The United States settled with them and paid them and filled up their bonds.
I know that's right.
Let's move forward.
Read the next one, Daniela.
Prisoners are pooled together regardless of race or religion.
You said prisoners are what?
Pooled together regardless of race or religion.
Correct.
That's not true. Prisoners, when you first enter into a prison, especially in like big states like Cali, Nevada, New York, things of those were bigger prisons like Rikers Islands and all these type of big prisons that are considered max prisons or super max prisons. When you before anything, you are to attach yourself to your race. You can't go into these real max prisons. Talking about you gonna hang out with the Guatemalans or the MS-13s or you finna the Latin crew. No, when you get in there, you are to attach yourself to your race first. The only time inmates come together is during a riot that is against polices and the COs inside of the jail. Other than that, race, or you die even faster by trying to not be segregated.
I think you saying something different than what this is asking. When you're in prison with all races, all religions. They don't separate you. They're talking about the government itself. When they throw your ass in that cage, they don't say, okay, let me put you over with the blacks. Let me put you with the Jews. You just throw it in there.
That's what I was trying to get understanding. Tell me, you're right. When you get in there, but what they have done lately is because of so many gangs. That's why they have gang units and things like that in the prison system, because they can't put a Latin king in a dorm full of MF-13s. You can't put them in there you can't put a Crip in a dorm full of Bloods. You can't put a Blood in a dorm full of Crips or whatever, because this is why they take their time and check tattoos and things like that when you come into the facility. Now, once that is done, and we have to put you where we have to put you if we ain't got the room to keep you safe, or they put you in what is called SEG, where they'll put you isolated by yourself until they got a place to put you in that they feel that you'll be safe.
Okay.
Spitting all this knowledge tonight. Yeah.
Okay. Read that one, Daniela.
Organized crime gangs have people working in these correctional facilities. That is so true.
And what this statement is saying is that, or what the warden was saying was that, although these are correctional officers who have been sworn to uphold the law and be
a lot of them are crooked.
They're crooked. Someone worked for the prisoner. So the prisoner got all of the money coming in through their family members or through selling drugs or whatever in the prison. So they're paying off the correctional officers who's actually working on the down low for the prisoner. So they're getting a check.
Don't forget the ones that have sex with the prisoners.
Right? So they get a check.
Anything for my man.
They get a check from the state as well as get cash on the down low from the prisoner who's letting them slip certain things in or smuggle drugs in or smuggle cell phones in or or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, this is true. When I was in many years back, you have people smuggling drugs, not just through, you have inmates who go out to work duty and they actually leave the prison facility, and they have people drop off marijuana, cocaine, crack, and they put them in balloons, and these are called transporters, and the transporters put these small balloons up in their rectal area, and they practice this so that they can learn to quiet and open their cheeks without and hold those balloons inside of their rectum without it coming out. There was times when I was in there, if you wanted to have power, you had to have product. So it was nothing for me to have someone bring me $100 bill in there and a quarter ounce of weed, which is on the street at this time back in 04, from 02 to 05, was maybe $25 on the street for street price. But a quarter ounce of marijuana inside of prison would be the value of $100, and you can turn that into $500 worth or close to $1,000 worth of merchandise for your locker boxes. And you sell what are called pin joints, where you just sprinkle a little bit of this in roll-up paper, like you selling tobacco, and roll up a little bit of that in there. You sell those roll-up joints for $10 a pop. So you do have guards. Just imagine you a guard on the street, and you know this inmate in there, he's moving, he's a shaker, he's powerful on the street, and he comes to you because y'all have a pretty decent rapport. He does what you say, and you treat him like he's a human, and he comes to you and say, listen, I would like for you to bring in 3 cell phones. You bring me 3 cell phones in. I'm going to have my family go purchase the cell phones, tell you where they are, you come pick them up, and you bring them inside the facility. When you bring me these 3 cell phones, I'm going to have my people give you $5,000. You're talking about $5,000 one time, when most officers who walk inside the facility, they themselves are not searched when they come inside of the facility.
Right.
Right.
They come inside of the facility with 3 cell phones in their work jacket, and as they're doing count, they come inside there and tell you they want to search your locker box, or he want to search your locker box and bring you in there by himself, and you looking at using these cell phones inside of your box. And once he does it that one time, you go call your wife or significant other and say, listen, talk to such and such getting off at such and such time, make sure that he has $5,000 when he get off. And that's how it starts. Most officers who are doing this 2, 3, 5 years end up, making, especially when you're dealing with kingpins and things like that are in prison, who still have that type of power on the outside that can actually financially change your life structure from inside of prison. And a lot of people are bullied into doing these things, or bringing and smuggling in drugs, because those same type of kingpins, they see how your family is weak, and they come to you and ask you to have a girlfriend, bring a quarter ounce of cocaine inside the facility in her panties, and while you in visitation, she slides it out and slide it to you. Your job after that is to get it to me back in prison out of visitation. It's a rat race. It's a game, and in order to survive in there, you have to know how to maneuver. So that's why I tell people, when men or women go to prison, they pretty much have to forget about the world on the outside, because where they are is a world right within itself.
Right within itself, right.
So, Legacy, did you learn how to squat and put a balloon in your cheeks?
There was no reason for me to do any of that.
I'm just messing with you.
Before I cough and put anything in there, I'd rather die cold.
I just had to say that because I said I'm gonna fuck with you.
Asshole.
No, he say bump that out. Ain't no squatting for me. I feel you, brother, because I sure as hell wasn't gonna squat.
Read the next one, Dynamic.
dirty protests are becoming more common.
Now, what the warden was saying here was that sometimes the inmates will intentionally start a brawl or start a fight and using their feces, their shit, as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That right
My
there,
mom told me when she was locked up in Lower Florida, a female prison, the females will sit there and pee in like a container or so, let it sit, and when they get on a fight, get in an argument or a fight with you, they'll throw it on you. I say up, I would have been up under the prison.
that is a free world charge right there. That type of thing right there, when you do it to another inmate, it's assault. But if you was to do it to a guard, they upgrade it to attempted murder because they say, especially if you one of those inmates that are sick and that has, hepatitis,
Mm.
tuberculosis,
AIDS.
HIV, AIDS, things of that nature that are transferable, and you do that to a guard, they charge you with attempted murder.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Cause their immune system is low, and if that piss or that shit get in their system, it can cause them to die.
Yep.
Mm.
Wow.
Yep.
It's called inside where I'm at when I was in prison in Georgia. That was called a hot toddy, where they I'm gonna say they let it sit up and brew and stew for a while, and when they get ready to gas you, they gas you because most of the time when somebody hits you with that, your main thing is not to fight at that time. Your main thing is to try to get this shit up off of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you finna wear an ass whipping.
Read Donnell.
Prisons are filled with phones, even if they aren't supposed to.
Right. So back to the cell phones. They're saying, yeah, cell phones are like a lot of people are under the assumption that prisons now allow you to have phones because so many inmates have them. But according to the warden, no, they're not allowed in there, so they're being smuggled.
Mm-hmm. Right.
AB, remember my cousin that used to come on and used to give those $25
Donations.
things? He was in prison there listening to it.
Right.
And he had cell phones, and the thing is, the easiest way to get cell phones in prison is to be a person that know how to be suave and communicate with the women guards. Because the women guards are the easiest prey because it's you talking about they work a whole month and don't make $4,000-$5,000 at each prison. So you talking about somebody offering you this type of money to bring them in 5 cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
When you give up that to bring them cell phones in.
Wow.
Yeah.
We probably haven't even got to it on here, but one of the things that goes on in prison is female-male sexual activity. So, if you're that type of guy that has charisma, most female guards, if you're attractive to them and you got a nice body or whatever, you got to, present yourself well, they will let you have them.
How many guards you got?
3.
And I didn't even think you would answer that honestly.
When have you known me to bullshit on him?
You fuck 3 guards, so you could possibly have babies out there you don't even know about.
They drunk it.
Okay, moving right along. Read the next one, Donnell.
But oh Lord, prisoners with good behavior often get televisions in their cells.
That's true. I haven't been to a facility that allowed that, but I've seen other people who have had like long-term sentences been down since like the 70s, 80s, when the prisons was allowing that to happen, but now they're being transferred to another prison, and now they have to send those televisions home to their family member or throw them away because they're not allowed into prisons now. I know when I was in the feds, I was allowed to have a TV, but those type of prisons are peak prisons where they're considered minimum security prisons.
Security, yeah.
Max, high max, and super max. But when you're in super max and high max, you pretty much have 24-hour, 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour a day to be out and to take a bath and things of that nature. And as you get closer to your time, if you've been a model inmate, you start to get more and more privileges and going to better facilities where there are places where you have open dorms and they do allow you to have things like extra TV or something, and you can buy it off of the store commissary.
Okay. Don Allen Reed.
Reed, prisoners can sometimes wear their clothes instead of prison clothes. That where I was allowed to do that.
Sometimes prisoners are rewarded by allowing them to wear their regular clothes as opposed to the prison clothes.
It's not really regular clothes. It's actually stuff that they brought off the canteen.
Mm-hmm.
It is not like regular clothes from out on the yard.
Right. I can't say you did or didn't. You know what you did, but I don't know a prison that does, because one thing that happens when you go into prison, when you first get there, when you leave your county jail, you go with the clothes that you was locked up with.
That it was locked up with, yeah. No, I was talking about what Tiama said. That's where I agree, because you have to get like certain that's in the canteen that you can buy certain like
You
shirts
get your
and
tennis shoes, your
your
t-shirts, your
slacks,
boxers, your socks.
your slacks, yeah.
When you first get to prison, one of the first things that they do is try to strip you of your, and they cut your head bald, and they make sure you bathe with lice, make sure you don't have head lice and things of this nature. That's why most inmates, when you first see them, or when they first get to prison, they give you 30 days before you can receive visitation, because they give you 30 days to allow your hair to grow back on your head, and they strip you of your clothes and give you these jumpsuits. And the reason they don't want you to have clothes and regular clothes like that in prison and shoes like that is because other inmates get jealous of the things that you may be afforded to wear and have when you in there. And that will cause other inmates to want to harm you, because you do things that they never had or seen before, because they've never been free enough to see these things in real life or to purchase or have. So you will find yourself being a target to have your life broken in, or to have yourself assaulted and taking these things taken from you.
That makes sense. Jealousy.
Yes.
Jealousy is a biatch.
Pastor Reed.
Hot water mixed with sugar can be used as a weapon.
Yes, they call that 180. That water is connected to the water fountain where inmates have access to go get water. The 180 water is the water that you cook your noodles with, or you boil your sausages, or you want to do something different with you want to make coffee. So since there's no coffee pots, they give you a fountain that can create or generate scalding hot water. So once you use that, you can no longer have access or be able to utilize that benefit, and you can no longer cook noodles and things and stuff like that, because you've now took something that was supposed to be beneficial for everyone and turned it into a weapon. But they call that weapon right there the 180, because that's how hot the water actually comes out 180 degrees Celsius.
And they were saying that what happens is the hot water is a weapon within itself, but mixed with that sugar, it sticks to you. So it's like the hot is stuck on you.
Yep.
You know how when women tell you they gonna put scalding hot grits
Yes.
or potash?
It's the same concept. Yep.
That's the same concept. Or sometimes, because you can buy honey off of the store, and people will boil that scalding hot water and add honey to it. And the honey is so hot that it makes the honey become a liquid form. So once it's dashed on you, because the area where you are is already filled, it instantaneously locks up the honey on wherever it hits you at. So if it hits you in your face, just imagine it instantaneously starts to cool. Now your eyes can barely, your eyelids can barely open up and things of that nature. So now it puts you at a disadvantage for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, prisoners know how to fight there.
Them 3 years taught me a lot. I shouldn't even know all this.
Shit, that 1.5 taught me a lot. I was scared. Look, why you think I ain't never went back?
Read.
I was well rehabilitated. Any prisoner who exhibits emotional instability is put in on constant watch.
And so we were talking about
I am not laughing at you, friend.
when they put you in medical or they put you in an isolated um, pod by yourself so that they can observe you. And that right there itself is torture because they don't put you in a regular room with room temperature or delightful temperature. If you're one of those individuals that say you're going to kill yourself, I tried that one time when I was in a county jail, talking to my mom on the phone because I wanted her to come get me. But what I didn't know is that they monitor your phone calls. And I told my mom, you gonna come get me? I'm gonna kill myself. Well, about later, the Doom Squad come down. This is one of the first times that I get locked up in my life. And next thing I know, I heard them folks say, I was on the phone. I heard somebody say, Antonio Williams, go pack up your stuff. I'm thinking these folks, my mama done came down here and bombed me out that fast. Man, them folks took me to medical and told me to take off all my clothes and threw my ass in a cold ass room to where I know it was like 40 degrees and I had to wrap myself up in tissue. I ain't had no tissue right here, just no tissue to wipe my ass because I was wrapped up like a mummy trying to stay from being frozen. And when they brought the psychiatrist the next day to talk to people that was in there, I talked like I was Albert Einstein and that bitch trying to get him to okay me to get my
Okay. I know that's right.
That man told them folks, Mr. Williams, he go back to his dorm, ain't nothing wrong with him, and I ain't never tried that again in life.
I know that's right. Look, you from the cold.
Yeah, but boy, that was a different type of cold. I'm talking about nuts and dick, all that shriveled up into itself.
God damn.
I had a whole baby turtle down there.
Oh Lord.
Lord Jesus.
On that note, Reed.
The job is frightening and unpredictable for staff. That's true.
And some of the staff members are actually fearful of their job because they're intimidated by the inmates.
Well, society does that with how they, because prison is not like how they describe it on TV. It's not as violent.
Yeah, Oz make it seem like something that it ain't. Because people wasn't always getting fucked and shanked.
You know, you ask some questions in prison was nothing like how, it's portrayed. But you just imagine, most prisons are built in small towns, rural areas. One, so that the inmate won't really know his or her way around the area that they're in. They either build them in like forest areas or wooded areas or swamp areas, and the only people that know how to get around that are the people who live in that town or area.
Right.
And so they build these prisons in these areas to try to cause some type of industrialized system to where people in these rural areas can make money. So most of the people that do come to these jobs, they even have some prisons that's built out here where they actually house the guards. They got homes and things on the property of the prison where the guards can live on, like they on a college campus, where the guards can and their family can actually live on the prison facility.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, especially women, are very intimidated by walking into prison. All you think about is these are hardened criminals, and everybody here has to be a rapist or a child molester or a murderer or what they call them, serial killers. So this is the image that is portrayed, and this is why most people are fearful of who work there are fearful of their jobs, because all they can think about is the most heinous things that could possibly happen while they're in jail to them. And they do happen sometimes. But most times, guards who are very nasty to the inmates, don't respect them as human beings, don't talk to them as if they're human beings, those are the ones whose lives are pretty much on the line. Most guards who come through respect inmates, talk to them like they're men or women, they don't have anything to worry about, because those individuals other inmates won't allow other inmates to harm those type of officers.
Okay. It's almost like the good old boy system.
Exactly.
Okay. Read.
Suicide is on the rise, and how they do this is shocking.
Suicide is on the rise. Uh-huh.
And how they do this,
Yes,
is shocking.
They're saying that the two most common ways that the suicide is on the rise is either they're cutting their wrists and bleeding out, or hanging themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say this. One of the roommates, they called him, he was a cutter. And this was a friend of mine. I used to always ask him why. At that time, I never knew why his wrist was cut up like that. I thought he, us growing up in Georgia, running through, bushes and trees and shit, they have thorns and stuff that cut you like that. And he actually told me that when you go into prison, and if they deem you mental or suicidal before you're sentenced, the courts have to, one, either put you in a mental facility for lesser time, or if they're gonna send you into a prison facility, they have to give you the least amount of time as possible, because if you are a mental threat to harm yourself, that means that they will have to spend excess money to take you to facilities for treatment or to take you to an outside hospital, because they can't deal with what you've done to yourself inside of the prison. So that's why you see a lot of people, when they're on like trial and things, they play a role of being insane. Because if you are considered insane at the time that you committed the crime, you can't be liable or responsible for what it was that you did. That's why when you see like people, one of the crimes that people do, which is it's called a crime of where the husband kills the wife because he come in and catch her in bed with another man, or vice versa. And at that time, that man or that woman can plead insanity because they saw their loved one violate them by having intercourse with another person in their home. Where normally that would be murder, this would be considered involuntary manslaughter, because that person was temporarily insane, and where they would probably get life for doing it without it, they'll end up getting 3 to 5 years for doing that. And they will have to do 2 or 3 of those years inside of a mental facility.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
See,
I
that's
never knew.
what would have happened if I would have did what I wanted to do when I came in and caught my wife in bed with that man. With the big ding line.
You remember Lorena Barber?
Who cut the penis off?
Right.
Yeah.
Lorena Barber didn't get a lot of time for that. Even though that was considered attempted murder, she didn't get a lot of time for that because at that time you had to be mentally insane, but at the same time competent enough to know that this is what you wanted to do. So they cleared her out up on the mentally insane. And she didn't get no major time for doing that what she did to her husband because
She was my hero.
say I'm gonna go lay down somewhere. We knew you was gonna jump in on that one.
I'm already
Oh,
in
crazy
bed. Don't
ass.
do me.
Oh, loony ass. She would like something like that.
Okay.
Tell I'ma would like something like that with her loony ass.
Yep, Mo, yep.
What about hanging themselves?
Hanging, I would say by being in there, I've seen more people attempted suicide and mostly Caucasians. They attempt suicide on a way grander scale than any other race in prison. But most Caucasians receive more assault than any other race in prison because they come in as the weaker of the race when you get in prison. That's why you have most whites join atheist groups in prison or the skinheads and things like that because they have to get protected because they're considered prey inside of prison. But the second most would be prescription medications. Most people will save up their medication and take it all at one time if they want to kill themselves to go out because that is given to you by the prison. So it's easier to overdose yourself in prison than it is to hang yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So the nurse or the person going around giving out the meds, they don't make sure you swallow?
I mean, we know how to hide things in our mouth the way it looks like it's. And Apple don't give a damn anyway about you in there. They're in there just getting a check and they go home. So if they say to open your mouth, lick your tongue, okay, that suffice for me. But you held it at the back of your tongue and you take it back out, let it dry, and do this for about 2 or 3 weeks. You got about 15 pills that'll help you sleep. So when you go to sleep this time, you go for good.
Wow. Read.
And drones help to fly in drugs, weapons, and mobile phones.
That's a new thing that they've started where, like I said earlier, if certain inmates can't leave and go on outside detail, they get people to fly little drones over the prison and get it close enough to drop it in the location that they want to go pick up the item or whatever items. And that's the new thing of transporting drugs in now.
Okay. And the guards don't see that?
I mean, you have depends on how big the prison is. Most prisons have about 1 or 2 trucks that actually patrol the outside and the inner side of the prison. Mm-hmm. So if you time it right and you're drawn high enough and it comes in and drops something, most guards, the only thing they're mostly out there looking for, trained to look for, is an inmate trying to go over a gate.
Right.
So wow. Maybe earlier in time when you seen a drone, it might have, captured your attention. But to see them all flying around, our little kids flying them and stuff like that, that's the norm. So most people just drive right past stuff like that and keep going.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
This is this was a good. This is a good subject. I like this. Oh wow, huh? This is a good subject, Anthony.
Okay, let me give a commercial real quick. Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy. Serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justintimeaccessories. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Are we frozen? Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at D-Lowe's Notary Service. Don Allen Lowe is your personal notary public, serving the Dallas area. You can call 214-962-8275, or you can call the office at 682-200-9345. If you have any other inquiries, you can email dlownotaryservice1@gmail.com. Once again, that's D-Lowe's Notary Service. Don Allen Lowe is your personal notary public. Any notary duties that you need done, he will be able to get it done. D-Lowe's Notary Service. Check it out.
Hey, I just want to remind everybody, if you're just not tuning in, definitely you're watching ATL Friends and Family, and I want to remind you, definitely hit the subscribe button, comment below, we'll show your comments live on the screen, and definitely hit the like button. It helps us out so much. We greatly appreciate it. You can find us on all of your FM channels of Spotify, Anchor, Breaker. Just go over there. If you listen to the shows live on your FM Anchor, Spotify channels, just search for the Anthony Brown Show. And again, tonight I have with me Legacy on the speaker on the internet. Tiama, I have D-Lo, and of course myself. That concludes our show. I have nothing else to show or to talk about. Anything else you guys want to bring up or want to discuss real quick?
No, just want to tell everybody to join me on Friday night at 7 p.m. to 8:30, right before this show. Friday night gospel inspiration. It's real good gospel music, inspirational music, interviews, everything. And you can find me on D-Lo at Apostle D-Lo at gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at Apostle D-Lo, IG Apostle D-Lo, Facebook Don Allen Lowe, TikTok, and YouTube D-Lo Productions. And for notary and graphic design, only 214-962-8275.
And Miss Tiama?
You can reach me on Facebook at Tayama Sweetness Copeland. You can reach me on Instagram at Tayama01. You also can reach me at JustinTimeAccessories.com. So pretty much, yeah.
Huh. And I'm yours truly, Anthony Brown. You can follow me on the Anthony Brown Show. My new Facebook page is Anthony the Writer. I'm on TikTok. I got ice in my mouth. I'm on TikTok, Anthony Brown 561. Words to live by, grind until you shine. Mr. Legacy the Great.
Yes, this is Legacy the Great, and you can reach out to me if you need to get in contact with me on Facebook at Dream Williams. You can also reach me on
YouTube.
LegacyUnlocked@mail.com. You can also reach out to me by phone if needs. Any digital services that you need done, or you're locked outside of your vehicle, you can contact me at phone number 229-630-7615. Also, you can reach out to me at 561-907-9129. What I will close out with tonight before we get out of here, we talked about, prison, and we talked about things that go on in prison. But what we did not talk about is prison reform. We did not talk about how each state has. There was a time when individuals could get degrees and things like that while they were in prison to reform themselves so that they did not have to come in and back or re-enter back into prison facility. But once it became a real business, the business of being able to keep the revolving door open and continuing for people to come in and out repetitively is better now than to reform people. So my thing is, if you look around, you can look in your community, look in your area, and see where there are more liquor stores, pawn shops, where you can go purchase guns and things like that. But there are no programs really out here where individuals can get the same way that they took away most of the technical colleges and things like that, for individuals to get more hand skills and things like that so that they don't have to revert to crime. So I look at it as the system is doing exactly what the system wants to do, which is to cause a chaos to where individuals would have to continue to commit crime because prison is a very big business. That's why you find yourself having athletes and entertainers and governors and things of that nature actually being on private prison boards and financing these private prisons and investing money in these things with stocks and stuff like that. Because why would I want my stock to drop if inmates or individuals stop going to prison so much?
Right.
So we create a chaos to where there's a shortage of this, there's a shortage of that to cause pandemonium and to cause crime, because the more people that goes to prison, more prisons are made and more richer we become. So we have to start looking at the industry, the prison industry. It needs to be stricken down and revamped, and we need to find a way to basically reform and re-educate ourselves and our people, all people, not just black people, but I'm gonna talk to black people. So definitely our people. But I also want to say to those individuals who are watching or will be watching, remember that you have family members that are inside of these prisons, and it's not a guarantee that they will make it home. So when you have an opportunity to drop them $5 or $10 or $15, it doesn't have to be all the time. Or drop them a letter. Let them know that they still have hope and family out here that's waiting for them to come home. Do not allow them to become destitute to where they feel like there's no need to come home, so that they might as well go ahead and continue out of this facility to where they get longer, lengthier sentences and never make it back to you. Make sure you tell them you love them. If you can go visit them, go visit them. Lift their spirit up and let them know that if they got kids, these kids out here waiting for them to come home and to help them be better people. I tell people prison was a gift and a curse for me. The reason it was a curse for me is because I myself caused myself to possibly have a chance to lose a chance at possibly being able to played at a high level of professional football. I lost that with me going to prison. But it also was a gift for me because I learned from my mistakes. I also have been given the opportunity to share these mistakes and these trials in my life that I had with my kids, and to let them know that the journey that leads you there, it looks glamorous, but when you get there, it's nothing but hell. So I do take the opportunity, and I do thank God for being able to for delivering me out the belly of the beast, biblically out the mouth of the whale, as Jonah was. And that's all I have to say. Just don't forget those that are in there, because they still need hope and prayer too. ATL hope.
Yeah. 28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little beef of the king, little beef of the king. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. I'm the champion, I'm the champion, I'm the champion, don't know why you can't wanna wait to beat with the sleep just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early getting finished the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game, and I continue to win. Still I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. Like you phony rap cat, about to make me squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ASC is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons, and I'm the truth. Wow, cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless is the child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out there better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you not. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the little cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people licking trade love.